We're talking about Bali. We love Bali.
We love Bali.
In fact, we love Bali so much that we spent 3 out of the last 6 months in Bali.
Almost like a second home, if you will. It's been
It
pretty
kind
cool.
of feels like a
Pretty
second
cool
home.
looking back.
How can you talk about Bali and not talk about the culture? It is one of the few places that I've ever seen that every morning you wake up and there is an offering.
I mean, we don't fully understand, or nor do we pretend to understand. It's just very visually striking. Go.
It feels magical to
Yeah.
me. I think they call it like the island of the gods, and like you kind of feel that.
But for me, what struck out with the most were the sunsets.
In the evening, you could hear the sounds from the temples, people playing instruments and music in the night, and you could just sit outside and it would like drift over on the wind, and it felt like a different time, a different place, a different planet. We chose to spend a lot of our time in Canggu, which is just north of Seminyak.
It's a surfer town.
When you're considering going to Bali, there's a few things that you probably want to know about Bali before making your decision. We're going to go over the 5 things that you think about when you choose somewhere to stay for a while. Number 1, accommodation. Well, you know what? Accommodations can range from the super luxurious, super expensive to very affordable, like very affordable. You have villas and Airbnbs, which I think will be the majority of what you'll find there. You have some smaller hotels, family-run hotels, guest stays, homestays as they call them. And then you have co-living accommodations that are usually attached to a co-working setup, which is what we did because we really needed work to be a big focus of this trip.
That site twice, therefore if anybody has on their site, they can look that. So they can go in line.
I think starting with an app feels a bit like jumping the gun, because you need some traffic first, you know?
Section number 2, transportation.
Start for the pool.
I love Canggu. I love everything about Canggu. Except if you're uncomfortable with driving a scooter, it just gets a little bit more challenging. It's not impossible. There's definitely options, but scooter is the way to get around.
Yeah, it's not walkable. You can't walk around Canggu. You can,
No.
but you're not going to be having an amazing time. There's no sidewalks.
And there's no sidewalks. There's like one sidewalk on the main street, but other than that, like there's no sidewalks. So it's not pleasant. You're really dodging a lot of things. They do, however, have very affordable taxis and something called Gojek, which is someone who will pick you up on a motorbike. You hop on the back, and it is very affordable. It's probably about the same that you would pay in most cities for public transportation. You're still on a scooter, so if you absolutely don't want to be on a scooter,
Yeah.
it does get more challenging.
I would recommend that you perhaps take some scooter lessons and
Yeah.
anticipate in anticipation, because if you are able to take that leap to drive around on a scooter in Bali, I mean, talk about elevating your experience. You start enjoying the island and Canggu so much more. I've sort of missed it. I've
Yeah.
definitely missed it.
I know.
I want my scooter back.
Yeah. Number 3, food. There's Indonesian food. You can find a lot of warangs around there. They're probably the most affordable option, and they're going to give you Indonesian food. I found that some of the warangs maybe dulled their spices, probably trying to accommodate for some more Western palates, but when you go to a good warang and they put that lemongrass in there, they put that sambal sauce, they put like, when it's good, it's like good. Now, I was also really concerned about like food poisoning, and you read so many warnings on there, but honestly, once I got there, that stopped being a concern for me.
Yeah.
The places I went to, very clean, very conscientious of the fact that we have sensitive little stomachs. I know a few people who got some Bali belly, but I didn't have any issues with the food at all. I thought it was all good. We were eating sushi. We eat everything. We eat anything you put in front of us, even if we're not sure what it is.
That's true. When it comes to Western food, which is everywhere of all types, you got Mexican, you got Italian, you got French, whatever you want, it's there. And it's generally, in Canggu, it's all good. I mean, avocado
toast.
Smashed avocado toast is
no
literally
problem.
in every,
no
like
problem.
breakfast, brunch options are everywhere.
Yeah.
It's very much like Brooklyn in that regard.
The other great thing, especially if you're not comfortable with the scooter, Gojek isn't just a ride service, it's also a delivery service. And they will bring you anything from any restaurant pretty much any time of day. I mean, we were ordering at all kinds of hours, and they bring it to you really fast, really affordable.
Section number 4, activities.
There's a great bar scene. You will not have any trouble finding awesome bars, especially on the beach, to chill out and relax. Yoga is a big scene. You won't have any trouble finding yoga spots. Lots of gyms to go to if you're into working out. The beach is there. Honestly, it's not the prettiest beach, but if you're into surfing, that is supposed to be like the surfing spot in Bali. You constantly just see surfers with a surfboard strapped onto the side of their scooter. Like, that is just a norm. That is just every day, all day.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of like cultural shows that you can go to. There's some really beautiful dances.
That dance was really cool. It was
it's very
all
cool. There's a backstory.
The costumes and the creepy girls with the hair. It was a little bit scary, but it was really cool.
Then there's plenty of day trips. Canggu is a good location if you just want to go out on a bunch of day trips. Waterfalls galore. We actually got scuba certified in Canggu, but they take you out to some other day trip locations throughout Bali.
Yep.
There's also volcanoes. You can go hike a volcano should you choose to. Ubud is really not that far from Canggu either. You can definitely go up there for the day or for the weekend.
Section number 5, community.
The community, something that we think is a really important part of any trip that you take, especially if you're going to be there for a while.
We went to a couple of co-working, co-living places, and there were pros and cons to each one. But most importantly is that we were very successful in making friends. So it was awesome to meet so many like-minded people, and the 2 places that we stayed at in Canggu were Dojo and Outsite. And Dojo had an awesome community. They really invest in their community. These places organize a lot of events aimed at bringing all of the different coworkers together, whether on a professional level, exchanging ideas, teaching you how to be an entrepreneur. There's classes and TED Talk sort of environments, but there's also just social get-togethers, kicking back some beers on the beach. Yeah, so there's some people work in the co-working, some people work in the co-living. Co-living obviously has a lot fewer people and it has the space.
The nice thing is you have people who are on very different schedules, so you'll have people who are working all through the night, like Ofer was there up until like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning, and you have like this skeleton crew of just other people who are on this schedule.
Yeah.
And then honestly, during the day though, it actually got really packed in there.
Yeah.
It's really crowded during the day.
8
Outsite didn't have a separate co-working place. It was all on the grounds. And then there's actually 2 or 3 more kind of major co-working places. They have Outpost there. They have one called Tropical Nomad. You have your pick. Like Canggu, the best thing that you could probably do is go there, maybe just rent somewhere cheap for a few nights, and then go check out the spaces yourself. The hours that you're going to be working, the things that you want to get out of it, the events that you want to go to. Canggu is great because you will have your pick.
Yeah.
If you don't like one of them, there's 4 or 5 other ones that you can go check out. Bali is amazing. I don't know what you're waiting for. It's really a special place. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.